morning, welcome to the video. Today we are looking at Nike. We have the 2-day chart up on the screen, and I'm going to delve into what all of this means. If you haven't seen this before, then no worries, I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability, and hopefully we're going to uncover what's happening here in the chart. I'm just going to turn that volume off for the second. We do need that, but not right now. Okay, we're going to run through the price action. So very quickly, we're just going to recap. We've had an all-time high of around $170. We moved off of that $170 mark straight down into the $80 region in September, October of 2022. And since then, we pushed up and we have been putting in lower highs, lower lows, and basically just doing this kind of descending pattern to the downside. We're currently trading at $69, and I think what I'm seeing in this chart is something called a bump and run reversal bottom. And you can see I've got these names on the screen. So you can see up here, we've got the lead in phase. So the lead in phase basically works where we have a price decline, which we had. We've come up to that, up to the trend line. And then once we've come up here, we've had this significant sell-off. And then we've come back up to print a lower high. Okay, so this is the phase one lead-in phase. And then we have the second part, which is basically called the bump phase. And this forms after the prices basically declined really heavily like this. And then we had this runaway price action straight down into $51. Okay, and it's made its way back up to the original downtrending trend line. So this is where we patiently wait for phase three. So phase three is what's known as the uphill run. But this doesn't start until, as I've signified here with this red line, until we break trend line resistance and come and back test this level. And we want to see, this is where the volume comes in, we want to see high volume, preferably at the formation start. And when we see that, we can have a target, okay, we can have a target of the lead-in phase. So we can measure that now just to give you a bit of perspective. So that would be a 50-60% trade. Okay, so that would be our target. Now I've got this fib level from taking a pull from the low right up to this high. So we can also use other tools as well. I'm going to turn the volume off. I find that just a little bit distracting down there. But the other thing that I do actually want to point out in this video, before I get everyone too excited thinking this is just like the perfect long, is I sometimes am second guessing myself, like, is this the bump phase or are we waiting for that bump phase? So if that is the case, I just want to throw us maybe a potential spanner in the works here, because down here we do have this gap at 60, whatever, $62. But if I use this tool here, the trend-based fib, what's it called? Fib extension. And, you know, we pull from this high, we take it down to the low of that move, and then we come back up to this high here. Okay. And that gives us a 1-to-1 here of $35. And when we kind of then zoom out and we see here on the left-hand side, so this is at what, $45. I'm just going to show you here. We have these equal lows. Now, there seems to be this one from May. Okay, this one in June. So this is May 2017. This is June 2017, and this is October 2017. So we have all of this. So I guess, you know, there is nothing wrong in waiting and setting some alerts until we come up and basically break, like I say, with volume. I think you're going to know if you break this with volume, come and back test, you know, you could enter here, have a invalidation below this low, for example. So in this scenario that we're wrong, okay, and we do end up coming up, doing something like that, losing the level, for example, and then going down to find, like I say, this region further along the line, then you're going to know. You're going to know now that, aha, that video that I saw, this, oh, let me change it. This is basically going to be the bump phase. Okay, so I hope I've highlighted that clearly so you can kind of understand that. But the only way we're going to know is by being patient and basically waiting to see what the price action does. And that's going to signal to us, the right trade, of course. So it's going to yield a low manageable risk to reward anyway if you enter here with a stop down here below this low. And at the same time, it's going to be very worth it if we are in that bump phase and we do start pushing up and coming up back into that lead in phase for a 60% gain. So that's what this video is essentially about. I'm definitely seeing this playing out in the next, I say over the next month, I think it was, because when we look at Nike, I'm pretty sure. Okay, December the 18th. Okay, so December the 18th, we have an earnings report. So yeah, is that going to be the catalyst for that move? We'll have to wait and see. Probably not all of that move, but some of it we'll have to wait and see. But it's something to put in your calendar. So anyway, that's going to wrap this video up. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate any comments, any likes, any support, any questions. Please leave them below. Have a safe trading day.